Work is considered by various people to be the hope for a better life in order to be free from suffering, poverty, which forced many people to seek new opportunities and prospects in other countries. When Qatar becomes the workers' destination, they arrive reassured. The strategies of the Ministry of Administrative Development, Labour and Social Affairs, carried out in constant coordination with ILO, are based on the protection of human rights on Qatar territory. The most important of them is the expatriate workers' rights in order to ensure that of job opportunities after their recruitment with no fees or any commissions to pay, and according to the best and secured humane and legal standards for the expatriate worker. Upon arrival of the workers to their allocated locations for their accommodation, they find a suitable accommodation with all the guaranteed means of comfort, safe, individual lockers to save their passports and work contracts and personal possessions. The ministry is keen to replace the kafala system with a job contract which protects the worker's right of freedom of contract to leave work or to change it, depending on any rising circumstances. If the suitable work conditions are provided, it is due to the success of the employment process, including its governing contracts and all the associated laws stipulated by Qatari legislators, which are carefully implemented by the ministry. In the first place, occupational safety and the inspection of the activities of Recruitment Bureau in order to make sure that no exploitation or violations are committed against workers' rights or any acts of deceiving them with false contracts. One of the priorities of the ministry is to protect the workers' rights. It has banned the confiscation of the workers' passports and granted them freedom to travel and to move when necessary according to what is stipulated in their job contracts. Within the orientations of the Ministry of Administrative Development, Labour and Social Affairs, labour laws have guaranteed the wage protection system for workers and the payment of wages in due course through the electronic payment system, which allows expatriate workers to run their affairs efficiently. In the case of any difficulties at work, the worker can file a complaint according to the following steps. To go to the complaints office near the worker's accommodation. Through the website of the Ministry of Administrative Development, Labour and Social Affairs. To go to the Ministry of Administrative Development, Labour and Social Affairs and to take one's ID card and submit one's complaint through the terminal located at the ministry. To go directly to the special court at the ministry which is in charge of settling workers' complaints. The ministry has paid great attention to the status of foreign workers in their workplace and their housing conditions by increasing the number of labour inspectors and facilitating their tasks, by enhancing their capabilities through training and by providing them with advanced IT tools, which allows them to speed up their performance and to adjust to various workspaces and to assess the workers' demands and complaints from wherever they will be. In other words, from workers' accommodation or outside it, without any violations or minimization of their rights. Concerning the workers' health and safety at the workplace, officials and professional specialists are following up all the necessary steps to enforce them and ensure a comprehensive health and safety conditions for workers. This is by following the appropriate rules and by supervising the applied methods used to protect the worker during the performance of his or her work and all these steps have been coordinated with the National Committee for Human Rights to allow workers to know their rights, their legal duties, and how to complain if necessary. In order for the workers to connect with their families and check on their conditions, trainers and supervisors have been provided by the Ministry as part of the project carried out in cooperation with the Ministry of Transport and Communications. This project targeted 1,900,000 workers in addition to the training of 7,000 volunteers to supervise in their turn and train workers on how to use social media in order to be able to communicate with their families and relatives, as well as the provision of 75,000 computers which were distributed to workers' accommodations in different regions of the state of Qatar. These huge and outstanding achievements have been realized thanks to the workers' efforts, their own labor, and their devotion to work. The Ministry of Administrative Development, Labor and Social Affairs is grateful and would like to thank them at the end of their service for the efforts put in their work, wishing them a safe and peaceful return to their homes and their families.
Salamat Qatar!
The protection of workers' rights in the state of Qatar is a state strategy that safeguards human rights and workers' rights by following key global principles and in order to implement the Qatar National Vision 2030.